Welcome to Trees in Space, where the show that we watch movies so you don't have to. I'm Nathan, and this is my dear friend Jason, and this week we watched Pineapple Express, a rated R comedy featuring Seth Rogen as Stoner Dale Denton, where he enjoys a rare strain of marijuana that may prove fatal when he drops his roach in a panic after witnessing a murder. Upon learning that the fancy weed can be traced to them, Dale and his dealer, played by James Franco, go on the lam with a dangerous drug lord played by Gary Cole and a crooked cop played by Rosie Perez hot on their heels. This movie was directed by Gene Stupczynski, and it was produced by a lot of people, including Seth Rogen, and written by Lee Eisberg and Gene Stupczynski.
And I think it was also written by
Seth Rogen wrote some of this too, I believe.
Yeah, this was released a while back when everyone knew the world was round and Seth Rogen was funny.
And James Franco didn't get in trouble for doing bad things.
Exactly. I think the writer's name I think that's pronounced Stupidski.
This movie was great. I don't know what you're talking about.
This movie was, I watched this movie when it first came out in 2008, I guess it was.
Same.
2010. And I haven't watched it since.
Same.
And I loved it more then than I do now.
See, I enjoyed it more now than I did then.
Well, yeah, see, I'm going to say, okay, but Seth Rogen saved it. Seth Rogen saved the movie in some dialogue in the first 3 sentences he says. He says, marijuana should be legal. He says it makes sex feel better. It makes shitty movies better. Because he knew he was making a shitty movie. And he's telling everyone, this is a crappy movie, so get high while you watch it so you can enjoy it. That's what he's so I'm like.
I mean, maybe that's why I enjoyed it more this time than last time.
It's not a bad movie. I was just teasing. I mean, like I said, I did enjoy it the first time better than this time. I tell you what I did not like. Two things I didn't like. One was the attempt at a romance serious thing when with the girl, the high school student,
Mm-hmm.
It was all joke stuff, but there was a moment there where it seemed like he was really serious and was trying to be, real written and all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, that doesn't fit in this movie.
Well, I love it when they break up, then he calls her, and he's like, "I love you. I can't do anything without you." And she's like, "I want to marry you." And then he goes, "I think I made a mistake."
Exactly.
I'm a complete screw up. I'm immature. What does it tell me about you?
Yeah, you're immature. That was great. That was. But even when they first meet her, and then he's talking to the guy in the school, and he's like, "Oh, here's your shorts from my car that we went working out the other day," and he's like, and then they're on the phone about to break up, and he's like, "You can go off to college and suck all these random guys' dicks and become a lesbian," and he starts going off, and all she says is, "You think I'm going to be a lesbian?" She didn't say she wasn't going to suck other guys' dicks.
You're right, she didn't. She was more offended by taken off by the lesbian thing.
The lesbian comment. But there was a small part there where he was on the phone with her before all that, because he was on the phone with her a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was like, okay, that needs to be more played as a joke type thing, because it sounded like they were trying to be, a serious part of the relationship. And of course, at the end, because she says, "Call me when I can leave."
Right.
They never pay that off. He never calls her.
Oh my God, you're right.
He never calls her, so she's still in the hotel room. No, it's the Pineapple Express is the name of a weed, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know much about the drug world and stuff, and of course nowadays it's legal in I think 32 states.
Yeah, most of the states.
And then it's legally for medical use in almost all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you could just, being the person that you are and the world you sometimes live in, can you smoke something and know it's Pineapple Express?
Fuck no, I can't. I felt like I knew you were going there, and as soon as he smoked that joint, I was like, First off, I was like, why are you throwing the joint outside? That's expensive shit. Second,
Yes.
I was like, and when he picked up the smoke, I was like, you smoke that much weed that you can taste a joint and know exactly what strain it is. Like, I can tell differences in strains, but I can't tell you if it's OG Kush, Pineapple Express, Raisinets, fucking Zittles, whatever. Like, I can't tell you what it is.
That was one of my favorite parts about the whole movie was when he was naming the different.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna be called blueberry, Cuban, and I mean, he just naming shit, and I'm like, I bet that's where they get the names. I bet that's exactly how they're named. Someone just says this is what this is going to be called, and but my favorite part of the whole movie was Franco, James
Oh.
Franco.
Yeah, was it Saul, his name?
I think his name was Saul. Yeah.
Yeah, he was so perfect. Like, the whole movie was great because it definitely shows you the two sides of people that smoke weed. You have your major stoner, like your surfer stoner, and then you have your functioning stoner.
Right.
And I forgot his job was to serve people.
I forgot that too.
And everybody's complaining like, "Oh, you're an asshole." Like, I'm
He's
just
so
doing
good
my
at it.
job. Yeah.
He's great at his job. And that's the thing. That's a little bit of like they had a little twist in there, like Dumb and Dumber in there, where the bad guys are confusing him with like an assassin because of how good he is and getting away and having the costumes, which I liked too. There was a lot of things about this movie I liked.
Well, yeah, because the whole time they're like, "Who the hell is this Dale Denton guy?"
Exactly.
Like, they made him into like this vigilante, and he was just in the wrong place at the right time.
And he's trying to escape. He's just trying to live.
Yeah.
And he goes to his girlfriend's house, and I thought the father was a little extreme when he comes out with a gun and starts shooting up the kitchen.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, calm down. And then they suddenly believe him because the stoner dude comes in and gets stabbed with the fork. So now they believe that he's running from drug dealers trying to kill him.
Oh, and the guys, the hitmen, like, they're deducing like, food's still warm. Bloody knife. This is weird. Like,
what's his name? The actor the black actor. I can't remember. I love him.
He's great. I love him too.
In everything he does. He puts his hands in the food. He's like, food's warm. He just gets his hands on there. Okay, there's some really funny parts.
But that's actually pretty intelligent though. Like, oh well,
Yes.
if the food's hot, that means they were just here. If the food's cold,
Exactly.
then they've been gone for a while. Like, the fact that he was so good at his job that he's like, oh yeah, mashed potatoes and corn.
Food's warm. It was.
I would have loved though if he came into the kitchen with a plate of food and it was eating it.
Yeah, it would have been great too. Because the two assassin guys, the two hitmen, they played well off each other, and every character in here was a believable, like, person. Like, just because they're assassins don't mean they're not people, and they need to go home to their wife.
Yeah, he's like,
They-
I'm hungry. I'm going home to my wife, and just drops and walks away. Like, fuck this.
Exactly. It was just what was that one thing? Oh, and of course the cherry on top was McBride's character.
Oh my god,
Red.
yeah, Red. Danny McBride is hilarious.
And you could tell a lot of that stuff was ad-libbed, And Seth Rogen's a little overacting and stuff, but that didn't bother me. But Red, that whole conversation back and forth, you could tell that was ad-lib when they were talking. Goes, "I don't like you," what would he say? Seth Rogen.
He's like,
I can see through you.
Yeah.
The paint behind you.
Yeah, that's what Danny McBride said. I could see the clock behind your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, well, I can see through you and I can see all your organs. I can see that you're full of shit.
You could tell that was all ad-lib. To the point where Danny was done with it, because that's when he walks off. I think that he was about to laugh, so he walks off the screen, whatever, from the camera. And that was great.
I think what I liked about it is there was action in the movie, but it's something that we could action. Like,
Yes.
the fight for the phone, that would be 10,000% how I would see an actual Joe Everyman fighting for a phone.
Yes.
Now, it was a little dated because there were still house phones and cell phones. Like, that tells you the time frame of this movie and how it's not going to age particularly well, but it's going to age well enough.
Yeah, I just don't understand how Duke he gets shot twice and then gets shot again, and he's still alive and they're having dinner at the end.
And where did he get the neck brace?
Yeah, where did he get the neck brace?
And the spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly.
And where is his wife?
Exactly.
No
There's so
wife
many
lives in
other
a house like that.
No, it was just it was I did like the beginning. I like how they set it up about the marijuana, how he has this place because in the 50s, I guess it was, the military is trying to get the guy high and says illegal and stuff. And I just love what's his name, who was private, whatever his name was in the beginning of the movie. I can't remember the actor.
Yeah.
Keith Hader? No.
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader. That was great. And they're like, okay, shut down, get rid of him, and then you see them drag him off near a gunshot. I'm like, God dang.
I felt like this movie had a lot of humor. It was definitely a comedy movie. The Rotten Tomato score for this movie was a 68%, and the audience rating was 73%, which I feel is more accurate, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, it's the worst.
I
know great things about it, but I still don't like it that much.
Some of the 5-star reviews we got from Alex G. Best movie to watch when you're stoned, and
that's probably true. Oh, and I did like the fact that he was like, "Yeah, we're fucked up. We cannot act correctly when we're high." He was actually talking about being high, people getting high, but Seth Rogen at some point in the movie, near the end, he goes, "We're not functioning correctly when we're high."
Right.
Like he was saying to the whole world, "Hey, get high, but you do realize you will not be functioning the right way when you're high."
No.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I do appreciate the fact that he's not glamorized, or what's the word am I looking for? Making it glamour.
Yeah,
great
glamorizing.
Stuff. Yes. So I appreciate that for it. But for those that don't know, I don't smoke. I probably should because of so much pain.
You should.
But anyways.
You should be doing shrooms too.
I should. I heard.
It'd be good for it's good for your PTSD and all that. If you microdose just right.
Yeah. What did you say?
If you microdose shrooms just right, yeah, it helps with PTSD and all that.
Oh, okay, cool. We got one here from Benjamin M. It's like eating a shit sandwich, but not as funny. It wasn't that bad, Benjamin. And this man didn't think this show was funny at all. If he thought it's not as funny as eating a shit sandwich, because that's one of the worst reviews I've ever heard.
Le Croissant 3. This movie feels like it was meant to be watched while high. The movie is definitely hot garbage if you wanted to see a good movie, but the action is hilarious.
This was a 5-star rating.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Okay, it's not hot garbage. Okay, see, I thought I was going to come with the name as hot garbage. These are being rude to this movie. The movie's just not really that great of a movie. It's a typical ABC with a few things thrown in there, unrealistic things happening, but it's meant to make you laugh, and it made me laugh, and that's all it's really supposed to be doing. It's not supposed to change your life. Jeez, it wasn't hot garbage. I can't say that word. Hot garbage. Gorgeous garbage. Name dropping. Blaine C. An unfunny comedy filled with dull actors and horrible comedy. You could do better watching paint dry. Jesus. No, this is not Strays. What's wrong?
Oh my God, yeah, that movie was awful.
Yeah, that was. See, this was back in the time when they did the ad-lib stuff, and it was kind of funny because they were doing it well and not just saying stuff to make people, like, shocked what they're saying.
Plus, they're all, socially friends. So when you're that social, you can ad-lib things like that, and it works.
And that movie made all these people stars, or they started becoming stars after that movie. I mean, I think Seth Rogen was already pretty much there, and so was Franco, but the rest of them, I think, started coming up because of that movie.
Right. Edward B. says, hilarious. Well acted and scripted comedy with great action and storyline makes this essential viewing for top comedy with great casting.
I don't know if it's essential viewing. I'm not sure I know any movie that's essential viewing.
I would put this movie on the similarity of pedestals as like Animal House.
Okay.
Where I think it could hold up to an Animal House style movie where it's campy, it's funny, it's goofy. It really just kind of takes you out of life and just kind of brings you into that moment.
I see that. I mean, when you said pedestal, I got a little thrown there because to me it's telling me that that's the same equality of Animal House, and I don't think it is. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying it's the same type of movie. It might not be,
I think it could go. I think it could go toe to toe with Animal House.
Oh, see, no way. There's no way. No. Animal House is like, it's like you saying that Vegas Vacation can go head to head with Christmas Vacation.
I may like Christmas Vacation or Vegas Vacation more, but I think it's a hard stand to have those two movies together.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like one's a classic, Animal House, and one's just a funny recent movie that is probably just never going to be a classic, but still the same minds. Anyways, shut up, Jason. Okay, this is from somebody named April the 1st. The worst film I've seen in years. Painful time I cannot get back. Okay, we got some really hateful people in this comment section. Worst movie you've seen in years, dude. I got some movies for you, bud.
Yeah, I got a handful.
Yeah,
I got some movies that were so bad they're actually good.
Yeah, Jaws 4: The Revenge.
And with the What the Fuck review, this comes from Jason Best from Movie Talk. Given that Pineapple Express is undoubtedly a lot funnier if you're as high as the heroes when you watch it, it's a future cult status for sure.
No. What the hell was like? Okay, here it is. That was 2008. It's 2023. It should be a cult by now, and it's not.
I would definitely keep this on as a movie that I could go back to and rewatch.
But is it a cult? Is it a cult status because of potheads, or just because of movies? Because there's classic or there's cult movies because they're great movies, or not just for a particular group. I guess that's not true. Like the Clockwork Orange is a cult.
I'd say from the standpoint of weed movies, this might be the best.
I don't know too many weed movies.
I love Half Baked. How High was okay. But
yeah. Then the Pineapple Express is probably the best.
Yeah,
those type of movies. I can see those being the same type of pedestal.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I got you.
So with all that said, what are your final remarks for this movie, LP?
Well, my final remarks are: I went in this thinking, okay, it was pretty good, but I knew I wasn't going to like it that much because its premise was around pot. But that's not the premise. The premise was around friends. It just happened to have pot in it. Parts made me laugh. I love Franco, but it's a comedy, and I never put too much, rating on comedy. I like comedies that make me laugh, but unless you're Liar, or like Naked Gun or something like that, it's probably.
I was just watching a Leslie Nielsen clip. And I'm like, man, we need to do a Leslie Nielsen movie at some point, or like a 2-part where we both pick Leslie Nielsen movies and we rate them.
Yeah, so comedies for me are probably petering out or topping out at 3 trees. So I'm going to give this 2 trees.
This may be one of my most favorite comedies that I have rediscovered. I am glad that we watched it. I'm glad it came on the list. I will definitely toss this into my rotation of movies when I might be bored. I will give this movie, as a comedy, 4 trees.
Whoa. Wow.
It had action, it had heart, it had humor, it kept me intrigued the whole movie. I didn't stop to watch this movie. Like, I sat for I got up like twice. But I sat for this entire movie. Now, did it need to be 2 hours and change? No.
No, that's not a good point. It needed to chop. We had 20 minutes off of it. It'd been fine.
And I think that would, if they could have cleaned it up, brought it to, an hour and 45 minutes, maybe, but yeah, I stand firm on my 4 trees.
Okay, well, or 4 joints, because that's what I have to be smoking to enjoy this. But no, it's fine, because for me, two trees for a comedy is pretty damn good. I'm just telling you that right now. You're not gonna get more than 2 for a comedy. Not for me. I'm
determined to find a better comedy for you then.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, I could see 2 trees, 1 stump. I could probably do that. I'll give it that.
We thank you, everyone, for listening to our episode of Trees in Space with the review of Pineapple Express. If you like what you heard and you hear what you like, please give us a like, a follow, and a comment. Give us some stars, depending on where you find this. And we will see you all soon for another review.